Connecting the dots between team capacity and velocity is key to more accurate project estimates. Hi, I am Aline. I've been working during all my career delivering projects and products, and I want to talk about the difference between team capacity and team velocity and how to manage it. To understand the difference between team capacity and team velocity, it's important to have in mind that capacity is the amount of hours that the team have available to dedicate on that sprint, and velocity is the average of story points completed in a cycle or a sprint, or even during the last few sprints. The main benefits from managing team capacity is being able to work in project timelines, avoiding unrealistic expectations. Project managers are able to allocate resources appropriately. It also allows us to anticipate potential problems or conflicts that we need to take any action to minimize the impact on the project, and also provides valuable data for decision making. To have our team capacity, it's important to know how many hours the team will dedicate on activities not related to development, considering even PTOs, holidays, or any kind of meetings that we can expect and plan since the beginning. On this example, it's important to see that we are considering all the rituals, meetings, and all the other activities which is not related to development, and then we can measure how many hours the team will need to dedicate for this kind of activities, or even how many hours the team will be unavailable for our project, and then we can identify how many hours the team will have really available for burning development tasks. Having that, it's also important to know how the team measure story points. How many hours, for example, the team consider for each story point. So on this example, I am considering one story point per day, and with this, we can also plan our sprint in two different ways. If we have only the story points, we are able to know how many story points probably the team will be able to deliver to develop it. For a team that estimate their tasks in hours, we can compare if the team will be able to deliver all the stories planned, or even if we need to reprioritize any of the stories to be able to deliver on that sprint. The main benefits of measuring and managing team velocity is to have a consistent communication about team's performance. This metric also helps us with continuous improvement, which we can use the data to discuss what we did well in the last sprint and also what can be improved. We also can use these results from last few sprints so we can compare how we are doing, and also it helps us with a better plan for future sprints. Knowing the capacity, knowing the velocity, we can plan the next sprints appropriately. On this example, we can see that the team had committed 34 story points on the beginning of the sprint, but by the end of the sprint, the team was able to deliver only 25 story points. Only 25 because, as I mentioned before, we consider only story points delivered completed during that sprint. And we can see that the first story we started developing, but we were not able to finish completed. We have one story added during our sprint, which wasn't planned before, and one story that was removed during our sprint. But even removed, it shows that the team started working on that, and then they needed to pause and prioritize another story. All these events are important to be discussed during our retrospective meeting to understand what we can do better on the next sprint, what can be improved in our process. After discussing the results from last sprint, it's important also to monitor the progress. So I would recommend to check the results from the last 3 sprints so we can compare and know if we are improving or not, or if is there something that we need to improve. So as we can see on this example, on sprint 7, we were able to deliver all that we had committed during our sprint planning. On sprint 8 is based on the previous example, so we were not able to deliver all and we had a lot of scope change. And on this sprint 9, we were able to deliver almost all, but not everything. As we can see, with all this happening, probably our average here is around 33 story points. So I would say that our velocity, our current velocity to be considered for our next sprint is 33 story points. But keep in mind that considering 33 story points, if we didn't have any change on the team structure, as a project manager or scrum master, it is important to have in mind and remember about all those events so we can have a more effective retrospective meeting. I hope this video helps you and see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.